season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Off the play fake, Prescott on the move to his left. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Tyree Gillespie, the one to get him down. The Saints at 11-3 on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he's going to have this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 25. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, this defense for the Niners, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you. No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Prescott. Able to find Waller. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Saints 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. Here's Kamara off the draw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Here's a quick throw by Dak, complete out wide. Touchdown, Saints! Allen Lazard with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Saints put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Rex with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
Now a play fake. Lance.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's certainly not the start that they envisioned, Charles. You give up the long touchdown drive, and there, an interception on their first play from scrimmage.
Brandon, I wonder if the mindset was simply, well, that was a long touchdown drive. Their defense might be a little relaxed and feel like, hey, we're in good shape now having 7 in hand. Maybe they just thought, let's take the shot at them right now. Instead, it went against them.
Kamara trying the right side. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he goes across the 20 to the 22.
Sam Williams bringing him down that time. And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
He'll take this to the 46.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
On play action, Lance.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, You've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. Second down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tyler Beatty with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Niners have got it back to within a score. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive end, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the 49ers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. 30, 10, 5, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And the lead is now 14-10. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd down, Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Prescott.
Got an open man. It's a lot.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
60 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ready. Striker, 3-3.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard down at the 25.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here we go, here we go. Black shot. Ready?
From the 25 on 2nd down, Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
Shot, 17.
for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Okay, ready?
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal.
Here's Lance.
Flush to his right. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack. And now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
This is up and good from Pinheiro.
And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
1st down, Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's going to try and go deep again.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it. And the Niners are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, as the first half is winding down.
And the Niners will extend their lead here just before halftime. Pinheiro's extra point up and good.
And the lead now up to 14.
Saints 10. Eddie Pinheiro set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. A short kick taken at the 18. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Prescott. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
87 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Ready.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Low check. Check you. Ready.
Now a handoff looking right. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
Fields this way up at the 17. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Kamara up the middle. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much since. Throwing, Prescott. Tries the left side and finds Olave. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 12-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Now Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Play action now, Prescott. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And again, it's Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
And into the end zone, a pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fields this way up at the 17. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Here's Prescott. There goes a deep ball, end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third quarter action, and we appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve right here with us. Second and 10.
Prescott now. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Prescott to throw it. And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And cycle. Wait.
Throwing on second and 14.
Lance.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds.
155 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Right back to him on first down. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Saints 10. Piñeiro sent to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
Fields this way up at the 17.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outline. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. The busy night continues for Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run. But from both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
On first and 10, Prescott. Got a man, that's Lazard. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter.
Saints 10.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown.
Alvin Kamara with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but They've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right?
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Saints.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
That's good for the Saints.
Kamara is into the end zone for a Saints touchdown. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Okay, right.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I'm sure the messages that come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. One error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
Yeah, it would be a pretty amazing comeback, but we've seen crazier things happen to the National Football League.
We certainly have.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
Got his target, Samuel. And he's got Rome. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Here we go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 12.
Lance throws the out route and completes it to Samuel.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, you've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
This is caught. Touchdown. George Kittle, a 24-yard touchdown.
And the 49ers up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Saints 24. Eddie Piñeiro set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off.
A short kick taken at the 18. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
At their own 27.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
17 there and a New Orleans first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is. It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Prescott now from the 50. Open target here, Darius Slayton.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. A first down throw for Prescott. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A give. This is Kamara. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Prescott on first down. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas.
To the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
A short kick taken at the 18, and a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Prescott from the gun.
And he'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here we go, set.
And they take a knee.